friends, welcome back to another drink tutorial. I'm Stephanie. Let's get mixing. Today's cocktail comes to us from the ever so long ago era of 1948, when a Dallas socialite went down to Acapulco on vacation and had the bartender mix together her two favorite spirits, tequila and Cointreau, and came up with what we now know as the Margarita. Her name was Margarita Sames because if you're gonna make a drink, name it after yourself and flex on everybody until the end of time. Go big or go home. Thanks to her, we now have one of the most popular summertime cocktails, beach cocktails, sitting in your living room staring at a 12-hour video of a beach type of cocktail. So let's get to it. So her version was pretty simple, and if you've ever watched the show Archer, this is what he was talking about when a margarita only has 5 ingredients: tequila, Cointreau, salt, lime, and ice. That's all we need for this. Notice nowhere in there was there a blender or a pre-bottled mix. We're not using any of that because, again, we want these cocktails to taste good. We don't want them to give us immediate heartburn or acid reflux. So, Margarita's original recipe did call for a Blanco tequila. There's 3 different levels: Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Just refers to how old the tequila is or how long it's been aged. I'm going to be using Reposado today. It's nothing but a personal preference. Go ahead and use your favorite tequila or whatever you happen to have on hand. So what I'm going to use is this Tres Agaves, and then we've also got our Cointreau. So to start off, grab your shakers that we are now ever so familiar with, our handy little jigger, and we're going to get the nicest sound in the world. I love the sound of a cork popping out of a bottle. We're going to start with 2 ounces of tequila. Drop that right in there. Going to do a full ounce of Cointreau. This is an orange flavored liqueur. You may have been told another recipe, or maybe you have your own recipe where it calls for triple sec instead of Cointreau. You can use that. It has a little bit of the same flavor, but it is also going to add a lot more sugar to it. It's going to make it sweeter, and I feel that it just kind of makes it syrupy. It's not my favorite thing to use. So we've got our Cointreau, 1 ounce of that. Now we're going to use 1 ounce of fresh lime juice, and just like the daiquiri video, link that up here for you, fresh is best. You want the natural sugars in the lime juice, that way you don't have to add any additional gross bottled syrups. So 1 full ounce, there we go, of the lime juice. Grab yourself some ice. Bare hands, super sanitary, you know the drill by now. And what is nice about these particular tins, double fisting, is if you fill it all the way up with the ice, then it's going to give you the right amount of everything for your drink. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. Rim a glass. You may have seen the weird black plastic things. They've got these sponges soaked with fake lime juice, and God only knows how often it gets changed. We're not going to do that. What we are going to do is I've got a little plate full of some of our fresh lime juice, and I have another plate of kosher salt. This is one of those areas where kosher really is going to work the best. It's due to the flake size. Table salt is going to be way too concentrated. Pink Himalayan salt you can use, but it's a little harder to stick to the glass for whatever reason. So take your glass, whatever happens to be clean. If you've got those, standard margarita coupes or the other coupes, or a martini glass, or just whatever is clean, go ahead and grab that. And just roll the rim in the lime juice like this. And I'm only going to do half the rim because I don't like a ton of salt with my margarita. And if you're making these for a party, it's always nice to give the guests a chance to choose for themselves. So get that rolled in, and then just roll that in the salt there. Give it a little shake to get the excess off, and there you go. It's all nice and pretty. Get that set up. Grab the other half of your shaker. Give that a quick shake to get it mixed up. And then this is called either a dirty dump or an open pour, but you're just dumping all of what was in your shaker right into the glass. Now you can garnish this with a lime wheel, which we're going to do here. So very carefully grab your knife and your lime, cut yourself a lime wheel. You can either set it on the edge like that, you can go ahead and slide it into the glass so it pushes up and it looks kind of nice and pretty like that. So pretty simple, tastes great. You get the acid of the lime, you get a little bit of that orange flavor from the Cointreau. It all just plays together very well. It's nice and kind of crisp, almost dry. So this would also technically count as your skinny margarita. Another way to do that would be to take the 2 ounces of the tequila, ½ ounce of the Cointreau, 1 ounce of the lime juice, 1 ounce of agave syrup if you are concerned about glycemic index. Mix it all the same. There you go. You've got something that's really delicious. So there you go. You've got yourself the classic margarita, just like it was made way back in 1948 before anybody was even alive. Now this next one that we're going to make is more of what has become the standard kind of house flavor of margarita. We did go ahead and make our own sweet and sour mix. What we did was took 2 parts simple syrup, 1 part fresh lime juice, and 1 part fresh lemon juice. Now again, the freshness is key here because that's going to give you the sweetness without having to add a ton of sugar. Went ahead and mixed up a little batch here. We're going to start off almost identical. Get your shaker tin back, grab your tequila. We're going to do 2 ounces again. You can do 1.5 if you're trying to make these a little lighter if you're doing some serious day drinking. Got your tequila. We're going to do just ½ ounce of the Cointreau this time because now we're mixing in a bunch of different citrus flavors. Get that dumped in there. And then we're going to do 2 ounces of our house-made sweet and sour. Nice little trick if you find that when you're juicing your fresh lemons, you're getting all those little seeds in there. Grab the strainer that we used in the martini video, wherever I'm linking that one there. It works really well to just strain out all the seeds and some of the pulp that you get, so it's just the nice juice left in there. So again, super handy thing to have. It's not a unitasker. We do like multitaskers whenever possible. So you've got everything mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and rim the glass before I put the ice in the drink. That's usually the way I like to do things. It just keeps the drink from getting additionally diluted, which, depending on what you're making, can make or break the cocktails. So I'm going to do just a little bit thinner of a rim on that one. Double fist your ice in there. Use your handy bar spoon to catch the errant piece of ice. We're just going to drop that back in there. It's not what not. A little bit more ice. There we go. Grab the top. Shake it till you make it. That put together and open pour again. Dirty dump, whatever you want to call it. I like to do more of your traditional style lime wedge on this one. So take yourself a whole fresh lime here. Cut basically from pole to pole. So you're getting that cut up there. Set 1/2 aside. Cut that again, and then just one more time. There we go. Get a little slit. Slide that on there. And there you've got kind of the standard house margarita. It's a little bit sweeter than the classic. It kind of conforms more to the flavor that everybody has grown to love. It's raining and cold here today, so this is perfect. Minnesota doesn't believe in summer. All right, this next one that we're going to do is one of my favorites that I have come up with. Now, the concept of a spicy margarita is nothing new. There's really nothing new under the sun as far as cocktails go these days, but you can always play around with it, substitute an ingredient here, do an infusion there. It's really fun, and as we've seen, you can do so many different things with margaritas. Just stick with the base recipe, get a tequila, have some sort of sweetener, some sort of citrus in there, and there you go. So what we're going to do on this one is I'm going to show you the quick and easy way to do a jalapeno infused tequila. You can go through and actually take the time and effort to chop up a bunch of jalapenos, dump them in with a unspecified amount of tequila. You choose the quantity, you choose the spiciness level. So this is really just kind of choose your own adventure. So again, we're going to take the small bottom of our tin, grab yourself a jalapeno, and give yourself a quick taste test to see how spicy the pepper is. This one's basically green pepper flavored, so that's fun. But we're going to take ourselves about 2 or 3 relatively thick slices. I'm going to be using the seeds in here as well. Get those dumped in. Grab your muddler, because we don't want it to be left out today. Get that all quick muddle in the bottom, kind of get the juices out of the jalapeno. That'll get you the jalapeno flavor, that kind of vegetal sort of taste. And then you'll crush up the seeds a little bit, get some of that capsaicin out. We'll start to spice it up a little bit. From here, 2 ounces of tequila as standard at this point. Now, I do quite enjoy spiciness, and sweet and spicy is one of my favorite combinations ever. Not using Cointreau in this one. What we are going to do, however, is pineapple juice. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of the pineapple here. So it's kind of fresh stuff. And then go ahead and grab the sweet and sour mix that we whipped up earlier. 2 ounces of this. Get that just right in there. Same story as before. Second verse, same as the first. Brim up your glass. Get your ice. Get your ice. Wipe your hands off real quick. And shake. Got ourselves, I kind of like it with the muddled jalapeno in there. It just adds a nice touch to the presentation of it. You can cut yourself another slice of the jalapeno if you want to either just drop that on top. You can always put a little slice through the side there. If you want to have it perched up on top, you can put some got seeds on me. You can do another chunk of pineapple on top of there. This part's really up to you, but cheers for this one. It is a little sweeter than the other two just because pineapple juice does have a pretty decent amount of sugar just in and of itself. Got that nice citrus bite to it, little bit of heat from the jalapeno. This again is one of my absolute favorite types of margaritas. And in something that we have never before done on this channel, we're doing a 4th drink today. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the Cadillac Margarita. This one we are going to utilize our handy dandy martini glasses because again, nothing is single use around here, and it is kind of fun to just sit there and drink some tequila out of a very fancy glass sometimes. Now, much like the other ones, we're going to have our tequila. We are going to use the Cointreau again. The extra ingredient for this one is Grand Marnier. It does add an additional kick because this does have some cognac to it. It does kind of richen up and sort of deepen the flavors as well. So, as before, grab your tin, grab your jigger. Start off with 2 ounces of the tequila. Do a 1/2 ounce of the Cointreau. Get yourself a 1/2 ounce as well of the Grand Marnier. Alright, so we've got the tequila, we've got the Cointreau, we've got the Grand Marnier in there. We're going to do just 1.5 ounces of the sweet and sour. Let's rim up our martini glass here. I will say one thing, between bartending and quarantine, I've actually gotten semi-ambidextrous, so that's cool. Alright, ice for the last time. Now this one you don't have to put as much ice in because we are going to strain it. So just enough to make sure that it gets nice and cold, gets enough dilution and mix everything together. Alright, all frosted up. There we go. Don't knock anything over. Grab your Hawthorne strainer. And pour all of that goodness just right up into the martini glass. If you want to get really fancy, grab yourself a channel knife, or you can do just that rip that we showed you with the paring knife. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down one more time. Go ahead and just get that propped up on there, or you can drop it on top. So here you have yourself a fancy, kind of churched up version of the margarita. Pink is out there. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ding the bell so you get notified when we post another video. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know which one of these recipes ended up being your favorite, or let me know what modification you made that turned it into your favorite. Links to everything that you will need are down below, including the link to Tip Your Bartender if you would be so generous as to do so. Really appreciate each and every one of you that have done so. You help me keep these videos coming. Cheers, everyone.